and held at Selborne in East London. Portrex, coached by Daniel Steyn, against Chief Boklein High School. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Robbie, and yes, good morning, streamers out there. It's going to be a brilliant day of rugby. So far, it's been some good rugby, and but wet conditions underfoot, though. Hey, Robbie?
Well, they're expecting 30% rain, so we're hoping that the rain does stay away. There was a few drops during the Lillefontein and De Vos game, but we're hoping that it stays away. There's some big games coming up, but this is a good one.
That is it. There's some big games, and we're looking to obviously see a lot of running rugby as well.
Portrex is playing towards the scoreboard, and Chief Boklein is playing towards the hockey pitch.
The hockey turf.
The hockey turf. That's some good players here. Tight head prop from Portrex. Uzukolo Metlo, vice captain, brought under 18 academy last year. We're going to be watching him. Their number 8 also, Iwetu Nyachatia, is also brilliant, very good player. And also their centre, right centre, Sonwabile Gaka, captain as well.
Yeah, Portrex looking to be a good team. Came off not too bad last season, had a couple of interesting games. Local team from East London taking on Chief Boklein High School. So let's see how they go.
So it's Lungile Yamba kicking off for Chief Boklein. And good take there by Lusando Luke. Good pass off there to number 8. Good placing of the ball. 10 Gaka. It's quick ball coming out. I can see they're going to be using their big number 8, Awetu Nyachacha, a lot. This Lusanda Luko early on looks really good, and they need to spread the ball a bit. Well, that's a big hit there by Kadleto Kile, and that's a penalty to Chief Boklein.
Portrex looking to take the ball on early up front with their big forwards. And as we see Chief Boklein now on the attack, just outside the 22 of Portrex. And taken up to the line.
No pillar and post there.
No pillar and post. Great try. It's always good to see a forward on the run.
Yeah, we love to see the forwards running. Well, that's a interesting try there. I think the defense of Portrex was lacking. Their pillar and post was not available there.
Portrex caught asleep there with a quick ball, and Chief Boklein High taking the opportunities well. Ball in hand and try straight away.
Lungile Yamba deciding to drop kick it. There is quite a strong southeasterly, so. Well, Portrex coached by Daniel Steyn, been there for 3 years. Daniel's also part of the SA Development Rugby Coaching Clinic as well. So a lot of experience, young but talented.
Oh, that's good.
Well, the crowd's building up here nicely. We're expecting some good games coming up. And Lusanda Luke is going to kick off. Great hanging kick there by Lusando. No pressure there by Portrex as they go to ground on the 10-yard. It's good standoff running there. Oh, okay, there, he needs to go to ground, otherwise it's...
Talk about being held up in the tackle.
Properly. Oh, that's a good turnover.
Well
nothing better than seeing a double tackle.
That's it. Portrex now in a good opportunity to put some pressure on and put some points on the board as well.
Well, it's scrammed down on Portrex's 22, and if I'm mistaken, first scrum.
Wet conditions underfoot, so it should be interesting with the scrum.
Well, I was talking to the guys that played Lillifontein team that played before, and they said that the ball was like a bar of soap. So McQueenie to put the ball in. It's a good hit there by
Quick scrum.
Luke.
Quick ball down the right. And a great
run there by Wetu.
Yes.
Fuyusani passing. Luke. So Portrix putting all the pressure on the 22. Building some nice phases here. Fourth phase. Another big hit there.
Quick ball again. Up there.
McQueenie. Luke.
To their big number 8.
Oh, good tackle there by Chief Boklein. Turnover ball.
And Chief Boklein relieving the pressure.
I'm sure Dan Stan's going to be pulling his hair out there because when you're building up the phases, 4, 5, 6 phases, and then you lose the ball, it's very frustrating.
Definitely opportunities there for Portrix to get over the line and just letting it go.
So you've got Berend jumping at 4, wearing number 24, and number 4, Mwande Joka. Hooker Vuile Sawula throwing in the ball for Portrix. So we just... Oh, great line up there.
And there we see the wet conditions coming into play yet again. Ball very slippery on the pitch.
Yeah. And that's a turnover ball again, Chief Boklein. So in the early stages, Portrix, their forwards seem dominative. They seem like they've got the edge when it comes to size, and they are setting up structures, but it's that last pass that they're putting down.
Portrix been very dominant so far in the first half with possession and territory. But like I said, with Chief Boklein in ball in hand, have scored the first try. So not looking too bad with ball in hand as they go down the wing.
Ball from Sony, the scrum off of Chief Boklein. Ball getting thrown a little bit scrappy there.
Portrix with the turnover.
Great turnover, penalty try, penalty try, last one.
Portrix centers up towards the 22.
That was taken up by the Sonwabe Kaka, the vice captain of Portrix. Luke. A lot of pressure being put on the Chief Boklein. Oh, great pass off there to the number 24. Matthew Curran.
Portrix looking to get onto the scoreboard. Moving the ball out quick.
Portrix 10, Luke.
It's a bit of a scrappy offload, but picked up by Portrix. Move towards the hooker. And that's Avule Sawula. Does good to get it back. Luke. Scrum off there.
Portrix keep the pressure, but another penalty to Portrix. And are they going to option to put it into touch or go for pulse? I'm liking the look of this number 10, Lucindo Luke. He's looking very controlled, playing the ball nicely, taking the ball onto the gain line. It's looking really good.
Well, that little kick through past the Chief Boklein backline was a nice little vision.
Yeah.
To try to get them the wings. And Portrex with the scrum.
You can see those scrums are a little bit slow to get set. I think it's still cobwebs from off-season.
Well, this is actually a very good warm-up tournament for most of the boys, actually, to get the seasons off.
Pull out to Luke.
Oh, crash ball there.
Luke again. Ovayo Makwini taking it up, making some good yardage right over the gain line. Back to Luke again. And Ovayo Makwini again scores in the corner.
At Portrex over the line and points on the board.
Well, it's nice to see them putting those phases together, and I'm sure their coach will be very chuffed there, Dan. So Portrex playing towards the scoreboards at Selborne College.
Portrex have looked good with ball in hand. They've just obviously battling a bit with phases and taking a bit of an opportunity, or missing opportunities, should I say, which is getting quick ball, but looking very good.
Okay, this is Lysander Luke taking the kick. Strong crosswind. Oh, what a great strike there by Lysander Luke.
Kick. Great kick indeed. And that takes Portrex 7-5.
So we want to welcome our viewers to Selborne College in East London. To our viewers all over the world, welcome. And streaming live by School live stream. School Sports live stream.
There we go, School Sports live stream. Yes, all located right here in East London, small little coastal town in South Africa, and hosted by Selborne College, one of the top colleges in the East London border region.
So Fly Flunkile Yamba from Chief Boklein is going to kick off. It's a good take there by Sazabo Kaleko, taking it up over the gain line. Luke, big take up there by Owetu Nyayatia.
And once again, Portrex looking to run the ball, keeping ball in hand and moving it out wide. Quick hands.
Coming off his feet.
That's
there.
Owayo Makwina. Here's the try scorer for Portrex.
So it's been a pretty slow start, I'd say, and be interesting to see what Chief Boklein come up with here and how good their lineouts are. So Tulani Zoto to throw the ball in for Chief Boklein. Very strong crosswind, so it's going to be interesting to see what ball, 2 or 4.
The ball just going over the line out, and Portrex picking it up. So a bit of a mess of that line out for Chief Boklein High. And Portrex once again back in possession and moving the ball up the right wing. Portrex doing well not to kick the ball away too much and keeping it in hand.
That's the vice captain again, brought under 18 Academy weeks, Uzukolo Metlo. Very powerful with ball in hand. And taken into touch on the 10-yard. Portrex's 10-yard. No, sorry, Chief Boklein King's 10-yard. So Portrex looking good with ball in hand, but just kind of those last movements.
Little touches here and there that aren't going to hand or going to plan. But yes, looking very good in with ball in hand.
So it's Tulani Zoto throw in.
Once again, lineout is scrapped, but they've got position. Chief Boklein in their 22, just outside their 22, dancing around with ball in hand. Looking very scrappy though.
That's Innocent Zitlatla.
Relieving pressure, but not finding touch. Booted up the park.
Marco Penny putting pressure. So that's a penalty to Chief Boklein King on their 22. And I'm sure they'll relieve and kick into touch. Lungile Yamba will take the kick to touch. And that's a great kick onto halfway.
So releasing some pressure from their 22 and taking it up to the halfway line. And they obviously get their penalty with the line out. Line out's been a bit scrappy from Chief.
Yeah. I think you can see with the flags blowing in the background there that the wind is blowing very, very strong.
Chiefs this time do take, but knocking lost forward in the line out. Portrex winning that one.
So currently Portrex 7, Chief Boklein King 5. First half 15 minutes and 19 seconds. Queen's College boys got a big game today.
They've got they're playing Crents later on at 3 o'clock.
Big game.
It'll be a good game to watch.
Boys look a bit worried. There's nothing better than schoolboy rugby.
That's where it all starts.
Okay. Vuyasani Makweni putting the ball in for Portrex. Luke. Left center there, Makwano Marubata.
Oh, just not finding his player. Turnover. That's great there by Anele Fatene, the tight prop for Chief Boklein.
Sony. Izil Samuel taking up nicely. 5 to 10 meters over the gain line. Great work there. And it's a penalty to Chief Boklein King.
Portrex just not rolling away.
Quick tap. Sipali Sony. Foot coming in there. So it's another penalty there for Chief Boklein King. I'm finding in the schoolboy rugby there's a lot of basic mistakes that are happening. The last pass, receiving the ball in front of you. I mean, those are the basics that need to be implemented.
The ball just almost taking out the commentating box.
So that's a good kick. Just before the 22 for Chief Boklein King. Playing towards the hockey AstroTurf at Selborne College in East London.
Portrex very guilty of giving away too many penalties and possession at times when they are looking good with ball in hand. And here we go, Chief Boklein on the attack. Strapped up there by Portrex defenders.
Oh, lying totally in the wrong position, not rolling away. So Chief Boklein King keeping the pressure. Good drive, the leg drive there.
It's a good drive up the line. Just inside Portrex's 22.
Looking for quick ball now.
There it comes.
There we go. Nice pass over there by number 17, Sive Njala.
And just giving away possession and turnover ball to Portrex. Portrex take quick ball. And keeping ball in their 22, deciding to run it out.
Oh, that's a big run from the 22 all the way through to the 10-yard of Portrex by number 24, Matthew Curran. And they keep on the pressure there all the way through. Number 11
left wing.
Flome Menze. Great try.
And
there.
he goes under the poles for Portrex.
But that's where the basics came in, passing in front of the man. And a great break there by Matthew Curran.
Portrex extending the lead now by 5.
Good through the tackle pass there by Sonwabile Kaka and Hlome Medze.
It's good support by their
Fantastic work.
fellow players. Quick, good offload and under the poles. Ball going wide of the poles. So that makes it now 12-5 to Portrex. Just under 20 minutes in the first half gone. And it's Portrex versus Chief Boklein High, right here at Selborne College Border Schools Rugby Tournament. It's myself, Warren Forbes, and Robbie Durant in the commentary box. You can catch us live on School Sport Live, Facebook Live, Twitter or YouTube.
So we're waiting for a ball. It's coming up.
And a big thank you to also Liberty, one of the big sponsors right here of today.
Securing your child's education with Liberty.
At the restart,
Lungile Yamba. It's that 50-50 passes that's happening at schoolboy rugby at the moment. Very frustrating.
do you call that those New Zealand lucky passes?
Yeah. The problem is New Zealand that goes to hand.
It always seems to work for them, but
Yeah.
never us. The crowds are starting to pull in nicely here. The weather's not too bad, no rain at the moment, very overcast and cold conditions. And the wind causing a bit of a factor for the ball when it is kicked.
Chief Boklein on the 10-yard, on Portrex's 10-yard, and unfortunately screw throw, scrum down to Portrex. I'd like to see their number 8 from Portrex, Awetu Nyayitya, have a bit more ball in hand. He's looking very powerful. I'd like to see a pick and go here, but that's my guessing. Feed in by scrum off.
It's a good scrum, and number 8 takes it. Awetu.
Right centre, Sonweba Gaka, captain. Placing the ball nicely. Luke
once again with some vision. And was that knocked back or knocked forward?
I'm liking the vision of Luke. I think he's got a lot of vision. He's got good ball skills. Obviously, this is part of the border selectors will be looking at these players as well. So I'm sure James Winstanley, who is the head coach, will be very interested and be looking at this guy very closely.
Definitely a young, talented player from Portrex there, fly half. Yosanda Luke. Got a lot of good vision and reading the game very well.
So I'm going to put the ball in for Portrex. Luke. Ovayo Makwina. Oh, that last pass.
Just not finding his outside player on the wing, but a great run from left to right with Portrex.
So Portrex putting the attack on. As soon as their backs move, it's looking good.
It is.
They're making the yardage, which is great. It's that last pass that needs to go to hand.
Just not finishing.
So Chief Boklein on defense right now, and need to win this ball. They're under serious pressure here. Hooker Tulanu Zoto goes over, well secured there by Kanya Rock with a lock.
This side, long side is all our lineups. All the lineups on this side are ours.
Sony.
Oh.
Fumble. Fumble there by Lungile Yamba.
And that's not something they want in their dead ball, gain ball line.
Well, the pressure's on here. Are they going to do it a right shoulder with the number 8 picking up again from Portrex? Portrex now on the 5-yard. All the pressure now is on Chief Boklein.
Portrex maybe should look at their number 8 as their right turn. It's a powerful player, and at the moment he could have a good run up and bash through over the line.
Yeah.
Portrex with the put in. Scrummy Voisiana and Quenny. And they go to the left. And number 8 off the back of the scrum. Trying to get quick ball. It's Luke.
Oh, well played.
And
that's number 3, Uzelo McClello, vice captain.
So follow the action.
Tight head prop.
Great stretch onto the line and point scored.
When the scrum close by.
Nice build there, Warren. He's a nicely built kid there.
He'll tell you what to get.
And nothing beats running onto the ball at pace.
With yourself being a coach, nowadays youngsters obviously have got a fitness strategy that they use, eating plan. Nowadays the sport's become quite professional in a way, even at school rugby, I'm thinking.
Well, look, I think it's a lot of money is being invested into school rugby, and schools spend a lot of money on bursaries and making sure that they can have a winning team. So Portrex has done a lot of building the last 2 years, and this particular group mostly grade 12s. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next year for Daniel as he builds up.
Well, the score now 21-5 as the conversion went over. Portrex leading quite a distance over Chief Boklein. Yeah, I see a lot of money goes into schools with sports nowadays, your rugby especially, and yeah, Daniel's got a lot of work ahead of him for next season with a young side coming through, but that's always nice to build and to have those.
Great take there by left lock, Wande Joka.
To have those young players come through and blood them.
Luke again.
Once again, good build up with Portrex.
Great step there by Luke. So you can see that ball's a little bit slippery.
Portrex been very clever in keeping the ball close in hand and not just kicking it away and giving away position. That's another clever kick through, but well picked up in defence.
Innocent is Klatla.
And he clears it though on the touch, out on the full. So silly mistakes coming from Chief Boklein.
It's nice to see a fly with vision like that. You know, he can run, he can pass, he can kick through. He's got great talent, this guy.
And that is half time. Half time's 21-5. Portrex leaving right here at East London, Selborne College. So your thoughts so far on the game, Rob?
He gets ready for Saturday morning cricket an hour before he has to. He practices his swing, telling anyone who'll listen that one day he'll face the best cricketers in the world. His dad hasn't told him yet that they've got tickets to the upcoming test match. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that makes your son's dreams possible, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing.
Well, there we are, half-time, 21-5. And here we go, the first try of the game. And it's a great run up the wing by the tight head prop of Chief Boklein. And that was early in the game where Chief Boklein hardly touched the ball. But as soon as they got the ball in hand, they finished off nice and strong with a good try.
I think Portrex is putting a lot of pressure. It's those final passes that are making the mistakes where the score could be a lot higher right now. 21-5. Let's hope that they can come back.
And then we see Portrex is opening their score count there with a great move by their centre.
Great clean up there by right centre Sonwiba Gaka. He's also having a great game, the number 13, vice captain of Portrex.
And straight over there. Great, easy, basic skills over the line. Points on the board.
Yeah.
And from there, Portrex started coming on more and putting pressure on and just looking good with ball in hand. So lots all to do for Chief Boklein now to come back in the second half. Let's see what the coaches have to say.
Well, welcome to our viewers across the globe, School Sports Live, and half-time score 21-5, Portrex leading against Chief Boklein. Games are running 35 minutes, running time. It's starting to get nice and full here.
Yeah, it is.
So just our upcoming games at 12:40, we've got Cambridge High versus Umtata High. And on the B field is Ganubi High and Unlawanga High. At 1:50, Dale College versus Hudson. Now that's going to be a massive clash. Dale rebuilding, Hudson on form. James Winstanley, the coach there, Griffey from Dale. I think that's going to be a clash.
That should be a good game, and it should be also some very good, exciting rugby later on the day as the grounds do dry out, hopefully, with the wind pushing in across the grass. So we should be in for some very good rugby. You've also got Queens taking on Krentz, and then the last game of the day, Selborne taking on Stirling.
Well, talking about Selborne, etched in so much talent. The boys have got talent, but I think that Stirling team is also coached by Russell Bennett and Charlie Howe. I think are going to be a dark horse. I think
it's going to be a very interesting game indeed. There we go, second half underway. Portrex versus Chief Boklein. And
Mbabane held up there. Good work there by number 4, Mwanda Joka.
Portrex winning that one. So Portrex straight away putting pressure on again. Inside the 22 of their opponents, Chief Boklein. Portrex doing very well to use their forwards.
So it should be interesting what they do here. Is their number 8 Away to Nyataya, going to pick up again. He seems to get go forward ball the whole time. So if just joined us, Portrex 21-5 up against Chief Boklein. We're at Selborne College in East London. So welcome to all those viewers all over the world. YouTube, live streaming, and been a lot of talk this week with the border referees, and it's good to see there's a little bit of they've calmed down a bit, Warren. And follow us on Twitter as well at School Sport Live.
Yeah, a big thank you to border referees for being the officials here today. A lot of young talent in the officials as well coming up through the ranks. It's not just all about the players, but the officials as well. Portrex on the attack. You can also engage with us on School Sport Live Twitter account. Oh!
Just that final pass again.
Well to keep it in position though.
Another big hit there by Nyanya. Nyanya.
Just shy of the line.
1 meter. So School Sports Live, proudly brought to you by Liberty. Portrex on the attack, penalty on the 5-yard, and they're going to take a quick tap. Matthew Curran.
Portrex again with advantage. Up the line, the great run and collect of the ball, running on flat and stretching quick hands over the line.
Great vision there by Vuyisani Makweni. It's so nice to see a boy running on with pace. Number 4, Mwanda Joka, having a very powerful game, Mwanda.
Yeah, running at pace, collecting the ball nice and flat, bashing his way up over the gain line. Portrex now extending their lead.
So watching the replay. Great vision there by the scrum half Vuyisani Makweni. He's also shown great promise, passing in front of the man. He's giving Luke a lot of good ball, and quick ball as well, which is excellent. And it's good to see that vision of him looking where the defense is.
And we're looking to restart.
Kickoff by Flav Lungile Yamba.
Not the best of kicks, but Portrex have it in hand again and looking to attack straight. Hands again.
Good tackle there by right centre Kaleto Gili.
Chief Boklein really battling to find position and territory in this game.
Number 6, Sozaba Kaleko.
It's a great steal.
McQueenie digging for the ball there. So Portrex keeping the pressure on, just on halfway. Still continuing their possession. Knock on there by Luke, unfortunately.
Just a bit of an untidy pass for him to try pick up.
All the good old props getting in there.
They have some Sterling High supporters. They'll be taking on Selborne College in the last game of today, 4:10. They'll be hoping for a good win to open up the season for them.
Yep. So Sipalwa Sony putting the ball in. Seems like Yamba and Sony have swapped positions there.
Chief Boklein now looking in good territory, in good position of the ball.
That's number 4, Izil Samuel. Good hit up there, 5 meters over the gain line.
Quick ball. It's a good run.
Good leg drive there by number 4, Samuels again. Pick and go.
And this is good pressure by Chief Boklein, keeping the ball in their forwards and keeping it tight. Just slowly but surely driving their way up into the 22. Once again, the pick and drive.
Samuels again. Doing well. Big number 3, Anele Fateni. Good leg drive there by the big man. Phase 10. And they keep going forward with a pick and go, pick and drive. Kanya Ruka taking it up. Holding. Well, there's a lot of talk about the new law, the tackle release, and also getting back through the gate.
Oh, here we go. Portrex on the attack, just not finding their number 10 player Luke, who had to sort of with a bit of a scrappy kick up the park.
Great tackle there by Ovoya Makwini, number 22. And it's quick ball by Portrex, that's 5-year. Yeah.
We might have a card here, Rob. Just not getting away.
Yeah.
So that's the first yellow of the game.
And second of the tournament.
Second of the tournament. It's Izil Samuel. It's the lock from Chief Boklein, who's actually had a good game.
Yeah, he has. That's a big take up there by Mundlo Pama. Husani Mokweni.
Portrex a quick ball.
That's a great take there by Sonwe Belakaka.
That's the captain of Portrex. And he'll be happy with his team so far in the game.
Right on the line fighting. Big number 3, Uzukolo Metlo, also having a great game against the wall. Vice captain. Luke. Oh, great play there by Luke.
Just not making it. Bit of scrappiness there, but the ref has spotted something and they're going back for the penalty. Portrex still on the attack. Portrex just unlucky not to get that ball over the white line.
Centre for Portrex, Sonobila Gaka, looking very good. Captain of the team, looking really good. So at the moment, Portrex 26, Chief Boklein 5. Second half, 9 minutes 50. There we are.
And if you've just tuned in, welcome to all the listeners around the world. It's East London, in East London, South Africa. Selborne College, the place to be. And you're listening to Robbie Durant and Warren Forbes right here on Supersport Live, Supersport School Live. And you can tune in via Twitter, Facebook Live, or YouTube. Portrex on the attack.
Oh, it's good reposition of ball.
That's a good pick and drive and try, Portrex.
Young scrum off there, Vuisani McQueenie celebrating.
So Portrix taking their score into the 30 mark, 31-5. Conversion still to come. There seems to be a bit of injury problem out. Let's hope it's nothing too serious.
It looks like Tukela Fossi, the Lucid prop. Just missing the Losando Luke.
That hung up for quite some time in the wind, but just unable to get over the crossbar. 31-5 Portrix, second half. Just over 11 minutes into the second half. And Portrix looking good.
It's exciting that the school sports live can bring rugby to across the globe. It's really great.
Well, technology nowadays, it's
Brilliant.
a wonderful thing. And not just on your laptop, but on your cell phone as well.
That's brilliant. McQueenie far too slow there.
We're going to see another card here. It's another yellow card to Chief Boklein.
I think there's been a lot of discussions with World Rugby and SA Rugby regarding the yellow card situation. You know, now it's a second player off. You're playing with 13 men. It really makes it uncontested, really.
That's Anile Fatene, a tight head prop for Chief Boklein.
That's interesting, seeing Queenians mixing with Dalians. Doesn't normally happen, right?
Oh, they're on.
In fact, I find Queenians and Dalians are a bit more friendlier together than Salbonians. So.
Obviously, catching up and watching some good rugby together.
It's not nice to see someone leaving the field like that.
No, never nice, especially at a young age.
You can see in the background, it is number 3 tight head prop, Uzexolo Melo, the vice captain.
Oh, scrappy ball. Turnover, Chief Boklein on the attack just outside Portrix 22. Looking for quick ball. And they look to go left. That's right centre. Captain, Portrix captain Kacha, wrapping up nicely.
Lungiso Yamba passing. Oh, great gap there.
Portrix defence looking very good at the moment.
Well, their defence was solid. You know, the guys shifted. You can see they trust each other. It's great to see. I see Portrix number 4 limping a bit. Left block, Mwande Choka. He's had a fantastic game. Powerful.
There we go.
Another injury.
Another injury.
So welcome to Selborne College, East London. Portrix is taking on Chief Boklein. Scores 31-5. And proudly brought to you by Liberty, School Sports Live. Fantastic opportunity for people all over the world to watch their old schools or to watch some decent rugby, decent schoolwear rugby, especially from the Eastern Cape.
No, definitely. Proud little border provincial schools we have here. A lot of history and a lot of heritage in the game as well. And funny enough, a lot of ex-Springbok players coming from majority of the schools in the border region as well.
Yeah, well, you know, you look, there's a lot of guys that came from Dale, Gobani Bobo, and Queens, Robbie Kempson, great commentator as well, great guy. Naughty. Yeah, we've had legends. Brent Russell from this great school, Selborne. Mark Andrews.
Also a good player in his day.
Yeah.
Very, very strong, tough lock.
That's where men were men.
There was no such thing as a high tackle back then.
No. And you didn't want to land on the wrong side with Mark Andrews.
This is true. Right, so scrubbing down here. Portrex with the put in. Quick take as Chief Boklein were caught once again giving away another penalty.
I'm liking this number 8, Awetu Nyetiaye. Luke. Oh,
Also another
great dummy line there.
Luke, also a player that's been playing extremely well today.
Taken up by Suwile Soni. Oh, great run there by left flanker Sanele Goyalaraza. Way beyond the gain line. So just on the 10, just over the 10-yard of Chief Boklein. Penalty coming. Good leg drive there by number 21, Nyati Mbabana.
Chief Boklein, when they have had ball in hand, they've looked pretty good with the basics. Just obviously a very slippery ball, conditions aren't that great, and just not finding their players at times with some scrappy passes, either too high, too wide or too low.
Yeah, Warren, very well said there. It's been extremely scrappy. Number 10 taking up now Flaf Lungile Yamba.
That scrum off Siabala Soni.
Good defense there by the Portrex number 21.
Fullback Guadese Wes up the wing and just going into touch. So just into the 20-minute mark of the second half, Portrex leading 31 points to 5 over Chief Boklein.
One day Joke got a little bit of cramp there. Also had an exceptional game. Very powerful, very strong. School Sports Live, brought to you by Liberty. And welcome if you've just joined us to Selborne College, East London.
Chief Boklein looking to take on the ball up the middle of the park, spreading it nicely.
Another
and
penalty.
winning a penalty.
So they're throwing the kitchen sink at him, literally.
Keeping possession, retained by Chief Boklein. Looking to move out right. A bit of a high tackle there, but the referee lets it go. Oh, and it's a good breakthrough.
Good tackle there by Luke from Portrex. They're attacking towards the 22. Warren, I find the passes way beyond the gain line.
Yeah, their passing for Chief Boklein hasn't been extremely accurate. Not finding their players or ball in hand. So a lot of the time the player has to stretch behind them or in front of them for that ball. And this obviously slowing the game down a bit, or giving away a knock-on every now and then.
And when you only have 20% of possession, you kick it away. Look, I think let's give Portrex credit here as well. Their defense has been exceptional.
Portrex have come out obviously confident, and their forwards have been extremely well. Their number 8 has been playing a great game. Their fly half has read the game extremely well and brought in the back line nicely with the forwards. And yeah, every time Portrex does have the ball, they tend to score.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you can hear in our microphones how the wind is howling here now. It's picking up.
It's changed a bit of direction as well, it seems.
Yeah, yeah.
Portrex on the attack, just outside their 22, looking to run the ball. It's a bit of a soft tackle there from Chief Boklein.
Number 8, Soweto from Portrex, having another big run there. These boys look very old. I just say that because my team's playing them the first game of next month. So.
Would that be the Portrex boys or the
Portrex?
Portrex. That's a nice opening fixture.
Oh, Lillyfontein normally doesn't play in the A division. That's the first time we're playing Portrex. Oh.
And that's another great, almost all. Should have been a try, but just touching on the chalk.
Monkoba Morobata. Also looks like a nice player there.
Bit of twinkle toes there on the line.
Yeah.
Oh, Portrex have got some good centres, some big forwards. So, defence line out for Chief Boklein, just inside their 22. What can Portrex do? Line out retained. And it's a great run outside.
Sony.
Taking it outside the 20 ball, there's Sonny. Bit of slow ball for Chief Boklein, but eventually coming out. And that Samuels is back on the field.
And a penalty to Portrex. They take it quickly.
Oh, knocked on. Oh, well, man of the match. Portrex game as it comes down. Portrex, we look at, what do you reckon, Robbie? Number 10, fly half for Portrex.
Lucindo
Luke.
Had a fantastic game.
So that'll be our player of the day, or of the game for Portrex versus Chief Boklein. Liberty man of the match is Lucindo Luke, number 10, fly half for Portrex. Had an absolutely fantastic game with ball in hand, vision, and just all-out play. Portrex still in the attack. Just a bit
great
scrappy.
inside pass there.
Inside pass to Portrex, great offload. And it's to the Portrex fly half, man of the match, Liberty Life man of the match, Lucindo Luke.
Oh, it's a great run there.
And there we go, finishing off nicely. Right centre, Sonobale Kaka. It's the captain of Portrex, leading from the front. It all came together nicely from just outside the 22 and worked it from that penalty. Quick touch and scoring eventually to the right side of us.
It's a great offload and a tackle there as well. ever-present Luke, man of the match. Our Liberty man of the match.
It's a good step. Keeping ball in hand. And it's quick place. And the big captain going over the line.
Great try there. In the background, our caravan there, School Sports Live. The boys do the hard work. That's the brains behind the brawn.
That's in true. The cameramen all around the field as well. Big thank you to all them. Not the warmest of conditions for them. See another injury worry there for Portrex, for Daniel and his team.
Sizizo Mabongo limping a bit and
getting some attention.
Probably be better to take him off. Put him in Cottonwall before he meets Lillyfontein next month.
Well, as our coaches always used to say back in the day, just walk it off, walk it off. Getting a bit of a touch of the magic spray.
Yeah. Lungile Yamba to kick off for Chief Boklein.
Oh, 27 minutes gone in the second half, and it's 36-7 to Portrex. If you've just joined us, thanks for joining us here. Big welcome to Selborne College hosting this prestigious event today. A lot of selectors, Robbie, looking on this game.
Yeah, we've got your border selectors to choose the border Cravenwick A side, B side. We also need to select the academy side. So I'm seeing some good stuff here from Portrex, number 10, Luke, the number 8 is outstanding, as well as the centre. Also a very, very good player, the right centre, Sonwabile Kaka, the captain. Well, big credit to Chief Boklein, they're not giving up. Pressure right on the line.
And they might come away with a consolation try if they keep it going here. Let's fly off Lungile Yamba with the ball. Passing it back to Scrummy. Silabalo Esoni. Well, Chief Boklein had a good opportunity to get off the line there and just letting it slip once again. Finding too many errors coming into play with ball in hand, but this time they've got the penalty. Quick tap.
Running sideways there was number 5, right lock Kanya Kwaka.
Just seemed to be going back instead of forwards. And I think that's where they need to work on for the remainder of the season. Maybe just work on some of the ball in hand play.
Portrex's defense has been brilliant. Their line of defense has been lethal.
Solid.
Yeah.
Scrappy ball again for Chief Boklein. It's a good little tuck and turn out wide, but once again Portrex solid on defense. Scramble defense looking good.
Tulani Zoto from Chief Boklein doing some hard work, but turnover to Portrex.
And that's a great turnover. The number 8 again of Portrex, looking strong. Owetu Nyatiati.
Oh, good work there by number 18, Sipele Mbana, who turned that ball over. Got Chief Boklein the penalty. They're not giving up.
Not giving up.
There goes Flaf Lungile Yamba. He's had a strong game.
It's also been good with ball in hand. When Chief Boklein have had ball in hand, they've actually looked pretty good. Unfortunately, Portrex have kept pretty much dominant possession and territory. 36-7. Portrex leading, and rightly so. They've been great form and lead contender of their Liberty man of the match. Liberty player, life player is number 10, Flahoff Lusanda Luke. Also good player coming from their number 8, and that is Oweto Nyati.
So School Sports Live, proudly brought to you by Liberty, investing your child's education with Liberty Education Builder. Thanks to them for providing such a great service here in East London. Good scrum there by Chief Boklein.
It's a good drive. Portrex outside the 22. And that's a great step.
Drawn pass.
Support. Oh, and it's a great offload.
Good handling there by Portrex onto the 22.
It's been a good all-round team effort from Portrex as they crash over into the 22. Still on the attack.
Just like to see hands now.
Oh.
And there's our final. It really does make me want to cry.
It's just a bit unlucky for Portrex. They worked that ball from their own 22 to their opponent's 22, and unlucky with a bit of a scrappy on hands. Wet ball, wet conditions all around.
Well, that's a wrap-up of the game. Portrex 36-7 against Chief Boklein. The next game coming up, 12:40, Cambridge High versus Tata High.
Oh, thank you very much, Robbie, and enjoy the rest of your tournament.
Thank you very much, and I'll catch you again. Dell College versus Hudson.
There we go.
That's going to be a goodie.
That's going to be a very interesting game. Stick around, all the viewers. There's plenty of rugby coming your way, all the way through the last game at 4:10.
Are you around for the rest of the day? Or you?
I'll stick around and watch a couple of the games, and yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Catch us on School Sports Live.
That's Facebook, School Sport Live, and you can catch it there, Facebook Live, otherwise Twitter, and YouTube as well. And that is the end of the game with the Liberty Live player of the day, or player of the match. It is Portrex's number 10, Lusanda Luke.